Family ministry is one of the farthest reaching and greatest opportunities that the local church has to teach kids, develop leaders, and equip parents in order to train up and disciple the next generation. When a local church embraces the unique possibility of an intentionally designed effort to invest in the next generation, it embraces the possibility of a ministry that won't just change a kid or a home, but that can actually change the community and reach the world. So, for the purpose of clarity and consistency, we're going to define family ministry this way: an intentional partnership between the church and the home designed to teach kids, develop leaders, and equip parents who all become disciple-making disciples. Let's take a moment and break that definition down. Family ministry, referred to by some as next-gen ministry, is an intentional strategy. Now, I'm a firm believer that when you aim for nothing, you'll almost always hit it. And with family ministry, we must know the purpose, have a plan, and execute that plan accordingly. Execution without a strategy is aimless, and a strategy without execution is pointless. Family ministry without intentionality is nothing more than a good idea. Family ministry is also a partnership between the local church and the domestic church or the home. Some have suggested that family ministry happens in one of these contexts or the other, but Scripture and experience both demand the two working in collaboration and partnership with one another. When the responsibility and effort to raise up the next generation is shared by the family and the church, a more holistic approach can be undertaken. It's like a beautiful dance where the two partners appear to move together as one unit. Now, this partnership between the church and the home translates into an intentional strategy focused on three distinct groups of people: the kids or students in the particular age demographic, the leaders that invest in these kids, and the parents who have been entrusted with the primary responsibility of discipling these kids. The kids are the most obvious of the three groups. These are the ones that staff and leaders often have the deepest heart for. After all, why would you start serving in kids ministry without a desire to invest in kids? Or why would you begin leading a high school small group without a passion to see students change the world for Christ? The other two groups of people, the leaders and the parents, are a necessary component of the ministry to the next generation, but are easy to forget. But a faithful and effective family ministry will intentionally invest in the kids, their leaders, and their parents. Now, when you hear this, it may sound a bit overwhelming. You may think to yourself, you just described 50% or 75% or nearly all of my church. You're not alone in feeling this way. Many church leaders, staff, volunteers, and parents can be overwhelmed by the challenge to intentionally invest in so large a portion of their congregation. But I believe this is one of the primary reasons for the growing desire among churches to implement a family ministry strategy. People just like you are beginning to see the potential and the need for an intentionally designed effort to invest in these three significant groups that make up so large a portion of many churches today. Finally, this intentional partnership with kids, leaders, and parents aims to develop disciple-making disciples. Discipleship is wrapped up simply in the Great Commission and the Great Commandment. It's about becoming a more faithful disciple and developing other disciples. All the ministries of the church ought to be aiming for this together, to glorify the Lord by becoming more like Jesus. Family ministry is no different. The aim is to grow these kids, leaders, and parents to become more like Jesus in such a way that they become more faithful disciples who are doing the same for others. This is what makes family ministry reach so far and wide. It's not the three groups of people, it's the logical outcome of a ministry that seeks to multiply disciples far beyond the walls of any particular church or home. Family ministry, again, is an intentional partnership between the church and the home, designed to teach kids, develop leaders, and equip parents who all become disciple-making disciples.